A new decision in the Arkansas Senate today regarding the bell-to-bell no cell bill.
5 News reporter Kayla Davis has the latest on the education bill working its way through the legislature. Kayla.
Darren and Alexandra, this measure passed quickly with a unanimous vote in a committee on Monday. Then today, the state Senate voted 28-1 to advance it to the House of Representatives. One of Governor Sanders' biggest initiatives for education in the state of Arkansas takes another big leap. The Bell-to-Bell No Cell Act would ban students from using personal electronic devices for the entire school day. If passed and signed into law, this would take effect this upcoming 2025 to 2026 school year. The bill does make certain exceptions, for example, medical uses and emergencies. The goal is to improve academic learning and mental health by limiting students' access to social media during the school day. But Rogers School Superintendent Dr. Jeff Perry says even if the state bans devices, more will need to be done to address mental health issues.
We do agree with, I think, the legislation that's being presented that there is overdependence. We do think that it's creating some anxiety, but we do hope that we don't overlook there are many other factors creating this sense of anxiety, and that we would love to see those issues addressed also.
Right now, phones are not allowed in Rogers Elementary and middle schools, but in Rogers High Schools, the choice to use phones in the classroom is up to the teacher.
We put that policy in place at the beginning of this school year, and it's worked out fairly well for us. So those teachers who didn't want cell phones were able to collect those phones with very little administrative overview or very little debate.
But if the bill passes in the House, they'll quickly pivot.
We have been anticipating that there would be legislation on cell phone use, and so we've talked to our administrators, we've talked to our staff also, that we suspected that this legislation would come through, and if it does, as written, we'll follow the law.
We reached out to other school districts in the area, but the Fort Smith and Fayetteville school districts declined to comment at this time. We, of course, will continue tracking this measure as it makes its way through the House of Representatives. Kayla Davis, 5 News.
Thanks, Kayla. Well, it's day 2 of the legislative session in Oklahoma. Lawmakers are considering more than 3,000 bills this session, including one that advanced through a House committee today aimed at creating new transparency and oversight for unelected officials. If that's signed into law, the bill would require state agencies to get legislative approval for any rule changes that are projected to have a fiscal impact of more than $1 million over 5 years. We're in the middle of flu season, and the spread isn't only making people sick, it's also causing a lot of students and staff to miss school right now. Cases have risen by 2% just over the past week. Carter Thweet has a look at what Arkansas schools are doing to slow down the spread this season.
Well, we always hear about it at this time of year, kids getting sick in schools across the state. And so far this year has been no exception.
We see a lot of respiratory illnesses, which flu is one of those respiratory illnesses. You see some RSV, you also see some pneumonia. You're still seeing some COVID as well.
That's Jacqueline McEwen, Director of Health Services for the Little Rock School District. She says at this time of year, keeping kids and teachers safe is a top priority.
We follow it closely. We decide to look at cleaning, deep cleaning if we need to, and then go from there.
So far, that's all the LRSD has needed, but others haven't been so lucky. In the past week alone, schools in Fordyce and Camden have closed due to illness, while Benton's Mountain View Elementary says over 100 students and teachers reported sick last week.
Our custodians do a really good job of cleaning throughout the schools. They do this anyways, but kind of watch those high touch places and clean those sites.
But McEwen says much of the responsibility also falls on families to make sure their kids are staying healthy. Things like getting them enough sleep, making sure they have a healthy diet, keeping them physically active, and washing their hands with warm water.
Cleaning in your house, those high touch objects, door handles, you're talking about kitchen counters. Things like that. Make sure you're cleaning with a disinfectant, and then make sure you get your flu vaccine annually.
Carter Thweet, 5 News.
Mercy Hospital in Fort Smith is hosting a flu clinic at the Kelly Highway Walmart. That clinic is open Monday through Friday from 8 to 4:30, and you don't need an appointment.
The Fayetteville Public Library hosting a new entrepreneurship program, and the deadline to apply is this Friday. It's called From Maker to Market. Combines a person's workshop at the Library Center for Innovation with online courses. Anyone who completes the training will get then a $500 stipend to help give their business a boost.
There are a lot of really great organizations out there, specifically in Northwest Arkansas, that can help you on the business side of things. But what we're really focusing on right now is how to actually build your product, how to build a prototype, how to take it to market, how to get consumer feedback, and then come back and reiterate it in real time right here in our fabrication robotics lab.
Spring 2025 program will run from now through April. And again, that deadline is this Friday. You can find all the details on the Fayetteville Public Library's website.
I love this story. Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and the Fayetteville Animal Shelter is bringing back puppygrams. Let that special someone know you care. Look at this. The program is now in its 10th year. That was a cat. That's another cat. They're asking for a $50 donation in exchange for a 10-minute visit from an adorable dog, like that one. They say they'll make Valentine's Day stops anywhere in Fayetteville city limits.
Super fun. What I love about it, too, is that I think sometimes people get really caught up on Valentine's Day being very much like a romantic thing, but it's also like a great way to show how much you love your friends, show how much you love your family, and puppygrams are like the best. So we love it. We love visiting people. It's just like always fills you with joy to spread the joy, and then also to help facilitate more people seeing the pets.
Dogs just make everyone happy, except maybe Darren. Darren, you're not a fan of dogs. The puppy will also bring a long stem rose during the visit, and they'll also have a card for you. All the money raised helps the shelter cover costs throughout the year. You can set up your reservation today in person or over the phone.